This video is for all your other Roadkill fans out there. I have this trick that I have been keeping to myself for ever and ever. Back in 1985, I was putting together a set of hoses. It was for my paint sprayer, where you had to have one hose for the paint and one hose for the air. And you had to drag these things around wherever you went. Having a pot to put your paint in was nice. And nowadays I manufacture a machine, and we use a lot of this 3/8 airline. By the way, it's a bad idea to cut your hose like that. Get a good cutter. And we have to pair these things up so the extend and retract lines are joined together. Now, everybody knows if you take a zip tie and you go and put it together like so, you have the makings for some bloodletting. No matter what you do, you never seem to get all that sharp edge out of the way. It's just there to, like Finnegan says, let the blood out. Yeah, you can do a little bit better job than that, but there's a better way. What to do, and these are the small ones. I got a big one I'll show you here in a second. Put it together the same way you always do. Okay, and before you tighten it up, here's the magic. Turn it inside out. Okay, inside out. Take that tail, push it down through between the two pieces, the hoses. Grab yourself a nice little pair of pliers that do the job, and suck it up tight. It doesn't bring them together because you have that space for the tail, but you have no sharp edges whatsoever. What you do with the tail is you get your nice little cutters. Yeah, that one right in the eye. And you trim it back there as best you can. And if you trim it off right, it gets jammed right under the piece. It's never in the way. A pair of fingernail clippers. They make those fancy ones that with real sharp point. You can take your Leatherman, stick it down in there, trim it back, get a finer tuning. It's a perfect little holder. And I'll share with you, this is how we take care of all of our airlines nowadays. In our machine, we put these tie wraps about every 8-10 inches or so. We have about 100 feet of this stuff in each machine. Here's the big one. Okay, right in the middle. Now I bet you anything this thing doesn't want to get cut by this one. Okay. If you still need to tighten it up, I think you can still get in there and get a hold of it. So I'll make it a little bit tighter. I think you get the idea. Nice, clean. You see that thing sticking out? Well, it's down out of the way. You don't get hit. I love that. And here is the very one that I did back in 1985. These hoses that went to the paint sprayer and the airline, and there they are. That was my water. Right there. Still hanging in there. It's only been a few years. Alright. That's for Freiberger and Finnigan. By the way, don't use these clear ones. They get destroyed by UV. Always use the black ones. There's my water.